The movie kicks off with a gorgeous girl named Connie. On this particular day, she's on cloud nine because she's marrying Sir Clifford, one of the richest guys in town. Not to mention, he's a big shot in the French army. After the wedding, Connie's hanging out with her sister Hilda at her husband's mansion. She's gushing to Hilda about how Clifford is an amazing guy, totally loaded, and she's head over heels for him. Right then, Clifford pops into the room and takes Connie to celebrate with the guests at the mansion. Everyone's having a blast, dancing until midnight. Once the party wraps up, Clifford and Connie head to their room. But as soon as Clifford leans in to kiss her, he suddenly gets all tense and pulls away. Turns out, he's stressed out because he's heading back to fight in World War I the very next day. However, Connie manages to snap him out of it, and they become intimate. The next morning, Clifford says his goodbyes and heads out. Even though he's slammed with the war, Connie is always on his mind. 6 months later, Clifford comes back, but unfortunately, he's in a wheelchair because he's paralyzed from the waist down. Because of that, they move into his family's estate. Connie starts taking really good care of him, doing everything for him. A few days later, Connie tries to get intimate, but it turns out the injury left his husband impotent. He apologizes because he can't satisfy her. The next day, Clifford hires some new staff, including a handsome guy named Oliver. At that time, Connie's starting to get bored, especially after realizing she'll never be a mom. Eventually, she gets so restless that she asks Clifford if she can head to London for a few days to see Hilda. But he shuts her down, saying she can't leave him alone, and suggests Hilda come to them instead. This really ticks her off because she knows Hilda hates the place. She storms off and goes for a walk to clear her head. She finds a little lake and is blown away by how beautiful it is. So she goes back and tries to convince Clifford to go with her. He refuses, saying he can't go anywhere, which just makes her even more upset. To make it up to her, he says they'll go to a local festival together. At the festival, Connie meets a teacher named Madam Flint, and they hit it off. One day, Connie takes Clifford for a stroll in the garden. The wheelchair gets stuck in the mud, but Oliver happens to be passing by and helps him out. A few days later, Clifford notices Connie's acting a bit different. He actually suggests she get knocked up by someone else. Connie is totally floored. She can't even process what he's saying. But Clifford keeps pushing, saying he knows she wants a kid, and besides, he needs an heir. The next morning at breakfast, Connie tries to bring it up again, but he just ignores her and reads the paper, which has a nasty review of his book. He starts having a pity party, saying his life is over. This makes Connie lose it. She gets so mad and goes to her room and rips all his photos off the wall. Hilda shows up from London and finds her sister having a total meltdown. When she asks what's wrong, Connie admits she's burnt out from taking care of Clifford and dealing with his attitude. Hilda goes to Clifford and tells him Connie has gone above and beyond and needs to hire a nurse. Clifford agrees, and Connie brings in Madam Bolton, who was Clifford's nanny when he was a kid. Later, Hilda asks Clifford's permission to take Connie to London for a change of pace, but he says no again, tells Connie to check on Oliver at the chicken farm instead. So Connie does what her husband says and goes to find Oliver, only to catch him mid-shower, totally naked. She's super embarrassed and waits until he's done. Once they start talking, she asks if he lives alone. Oliver says he does because he likes his privacy. Back at the mansion, she runs into Madame Flint, who tells her Oliver is a great guy, but had a rough time. His wife cheated on him while he was at war, so now he's a loner. That night, Connie stands in front of her mirror, looking at her body and feeling like her womanhood is being wasted. As time goes by, the gap between her and Clifford grows. She starts feeling a vibe with Oliver. She visits his shack every day, using the chickens as an excuse. One day, Clifford embarrasses her and hurts her feelings in front of guests. She runs to Oliver in tears and spills her guts. He pulls her in to comfort her. Things get intense, and they end up doing the deed. When she gets back, Clifford asks where she was, and she just makes up some excuse about the chickens. The next day, Connie is craving Oliver and goes back. Oliver gets annoyed and tells her she can't come every day or people will catch on. But Connie kisses him, and Oliver gives in. They hook up again. Eventually, it becomes a daily thing, and they realize they're crazy about each other. Clifford starts getting suspicious because Connie is always daydreaming and spaced out. One day, Connie tells Madam Flint that she and Clifford are thinking about having a baby, and Flint encourages her. During their chat, Oliver shows up to buy milk. He tries to talk to Connie, but she gives him the cold shoulder. Oliver waits for her to leave and then confronts her about it. She explains she was just trying to keep people from getting suspicious. They end up confessing their love, and Oliver throws his jacket on the ground, and they get busy right then and there. Later, Connie finds out she's pregnant and tells Madam Bolton. The news spreads like wildfire through the town and gets back to Clifford. He's actually thrilled and brings it up to Connie, acting like he doesn't know the truth. Connie lies and says she's going to Venice with her sister to get pregnant there. Even though Clifford knows she's lying, he goes along with it to save face. When Connie tells Oliver, he gets pissed, thinking she was just using him for a baby. The next day, while Connie is in the garden with Clifford, the wheelchair gets stuck again. Oliver sees them and helps her push. Connie tries to kiss him, but he brushes her off. She goes to him the next day and swears she wasn't using him. She loves him and wants a divorce so they can be together. Oliver finally believes her, and they share a moment. Connie feels free as a bird for the first time, strips down, and starts dancing in the rain. Oliver joins her, and they dance together. Clifford gets annoyed that Connie is late and sends Madam Bolton to find her. Bolton catches them together, but doesn't say anything to anyone. The next day, Hilda visits Connie, who tells her everything. Hilda is pissed that her sister fell for a servant, but Connie stands her ground and takes her to meet him. Hilda gets all tough with him, asking how he's going to provide for Connie if he loses his job. She leaves, and Connie apologizes to Oliver, but he admits Hilda has a point. Still, they end up in bed together. The next day, while Oliver is out, his wife's lover, Ned, breaks into the shack to steal stuff. He finds Connie's book, figuring out the affair. He blabs to the whole town, and the news hits Clifford, who fires Oliver on the spot to save face. Madam Bolton calls Connie and tells her what happened. Connie rushes back to see Oliver before he leaves and suggests they run away. Oliver wants to, but says he's broke. He promises he'll figure it out and come for her soon. Connie goes to Clifford and comes clean, reminding him that this was his idea in the first place. She even says they're fine with Clifford claiming the baby, but he refuses because the whole town knows the truth. She asks for a divorce, and he agrees immediately. Connie heads to Venice with Hilda, but she can't stop thinking about Oliver for a second. A few days later, Hilda hands her a letter from Oliver, saying he's got a farm and a small house now. Connie is ecstatic and heads straight to him so they can live happily ever after.
And that's a wrap. So don't forget to let us know what you think in the comments. Also, make sure to show us some love by hitting the like button and subscribing to our channel so you never miss a beat. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch y'all next time.